Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Butterfly Box 78. This reading is going to be for Virgo. The message may or may not resonate. If it does, great. If it doesn't, might want to check some of the other signs in your astrology chart. We're going to go ahead and set our intentions. This is Singles Virgo readings. Singles Virgo reading. Singles Virgo reading. Singles Virgo reading. All right. These videos are not for children. They're for adults 18 and older if you're a child. And this is actually more for entertainment purposes. If the energy resonates, great. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. And sometimes it doesn't. It's not always going to resonate, guys. So you have free will. So you can do whatever you want to do. Also, my children and I made a angel card. So at the end, I will be pulling angel cards. I'm very excited. So I really love these angel cards. I'm so glad I made these. It's really cool. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. Virgo singles. Please tell me about Virgo singles. I hope it's telling me to stop here. Queen of Cups. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Tradition in the upright. And Fortune in the reverse. So the Queen of Cups in the upright. This is about love. The Queen of Cups, she's always, this card is always kind of the way that it looks, it's always kind of a doozy to me. She actually represents an older woman. Virgo, you may be older, you may have an old soul, or there could be an older woman. She represents really the essence of love. It's like she's mastered. This is a mastery of love. And with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it's showing that there's something that you're not, like your focus is in the wrong place. And you're not recognizing the many options, or there's too many options. Like there's a lack of focus with the Eight of Cups. I'm sorry. With the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it can also come across as like there's an imbalance. Could also have to do with an unhappiness. Like maybe avoiding, sometimes even avoidance. Like I feel like she's avoiding this. Her mind, the mind is on this, but she's avoiding this. It's like there's maybe that there is a love for money, but the problem is that maybe it's not done in a traditional manner. Virgos are very earth, it's an earth sign, which means that their focus would be, I've never known a a Virgo not to be traditional. Now, they can be unique and different, but tradition is kind of that thing that makes sense to them because it's an order, it's a format. And with fortune being in the reverse, it's saying that there may be an ending to something. Sometimes it's a feeling of disappointment, but it can also be like an unexpected ending. So let's get a little bit deeper into this and figure this out. You know how I read, you guys. I don't generally read. I don't generally clarify the uprights, but I am a little bit curious. Let's figure out what the Eight of Pentacles is, and let's try to understand this story. I'm going to start out with the Eight of Pentacles, trying to understand. Please help me understand. What is that? What is the Eight of Pentacles about? Please help me to understand. Ten of Swords in reverse. There's going to be an ending to something. There's an ending, you guys. What is the ending about? Please tell me what the Ten of Swords is about. What's the Ten of Swords about? What is the Ten of Swords about? Please explain to me what the Ten of Swords is about. This is about money. Please explain to me what the Ace of Coins is about. Please explain to me what the Ace of Coins is about. Please help me to understand what is the Ace of Coins about. Queen of Swords in reverse. Ooh. What is this about? Okay, wow, the Star card. So there's some lessons, Virgo, that you're gonna have to go through as far as money is concerned. There's an imbalance. All right, so let's go ahead and unpack this. With the Ten of Swords being in reverse, this is almost telling us that this is like 10 being the number of completion, but there's going to be an ending to something that may have been very hard for you, almost heartbreaking, almost as if it was a situation where you had felt maybe even stabbed in the back, but that energy is actually, with it being the Ten of Swords, it's saying to us, well, Ten of Swords in reverse, that there's going to be a comeback. This is not a bad card. I just want to let you know, just because it's in the reverse doesn't mean that it's bad or negative. I shouldn't say bad. Erase that. That was I don't want to put that energy out there. This is actually meaning that you're coming to an end of a cycle, and that you're coming out of this situation. I think with money, I think that you're emotionally tied to a situation because it wasn't done traditionally. This was difficult. This money to gain has been difficult because it wasn't done traditionally. But you're coming up out of that cycle. With the Ace of Coins, there's not going to be a new beginning, because the focus wasn't correct. There was an imbalance. You didn't start at the root of yourself. The root would be your morals, your ethics, your ways. And I think that Virgo, with as earthy as you are, that's why tradition is there in the upright, because you want it to be done the right way. You know that in order for the energy, for there to be, abundance, this would have to be, in order to have this as the upright, things would have to be done traditionally. You also have the Queen of Swords in reverse, which again goes on to say that there was, a lack of focus. It's like you weren't following your root. There was an imbalance. You weren't listening to what your head was saying. Almost your head was telling you, nah, I don't know, and you went along with this. This could have made you very bitter and very cold. But you're very emotional and sensitive. Emotionally, this is your stability. But this logic, this thing, your headspace, it's not where it's supposed to be, which causes the imbalance. But what's beautiful about this reading is that it's telling you that the upright, you're going to have to go through a few lessons. And this may have been a lesson that you've already learned before. I think that maybe even it was a situation that you couldn't necessarily control. But you have the Star card in the upright. And this is telling us that, you're going to turn this around. You're going to make this situation correct. So that way you can do things in a more traditional manner. The Queen of Cups will follow her heart. I want you to take a look at this. As you can see, the Star card, the star is made of the hearts. And the chakra, this card came in the upright. This is all about creativity, love. This is all about following your dreams and fulfillment and fulfilling it. So your heart space is actually in the right space. And by following your heart, it will guide you in the right direction, which is in a more traditional manner. And then you've got the Five of Wands in the upright. So I want to dig a little bit deeper. So I'm not sure if this energy, this is part of the energy. We'll lay this down over here. But let's go ahead. Oh, well, she wanted to come out. That's what I was talking about, an imbalance. So spiritually, that's why these things in the reverse are out of balance. Because spiritually, it's not in your heart. So I don't think that, and it's because it's not being done traditionally. So I feel like that, and there's a stagnancy. This is the Hangman. And to me, this is always an energy, whether she's upright, what is this? The Hanged Woman. Whether she's upright or in reverse, she's still hanging. So it's like she's trying to figure out how to come out of this energy. But the way that you come out of this stagnancy, and that's why this is here, it may cause a fight. It's going to cause a bit of a disruption. But it's because you're following your heart. You understand the traditional, the order. You understand the order of things. There is an order. Mentally, though, it's like you will come. You come up out of this. That's why the Seven of Swords popped out. The Seven of Swords popped out because we're going to put this above that, because there's an imbalance. Tell me more about Virgo singles in this reading. Please tell me more about this reading. Actually, we're going to leave it right here. I'm going to put this back down here. And I still have Hanged Woman at the bottom of the deck. So this is a significant card because your action of following your heart in the traditional manner due to the imbalance, you know, it's spirit, it's God trying to tell you what you need to know. That's why there's an imbalance. You know that it's going to cause a fight. I don't know if this reading actually, Virgo, is not really about a loved one. I will ask with the sexual tarot cards about somebody you love, but something, you know, you're Virgo, so something wasn't. You gotta do what's best for you, Virgo. This reading is strictly about what's doing best for you. Insight. This is the path of wisdom. So you need to take heed to the insight that has been given. Find that insight within. Maybe listening to what I'm saying will ring a bell and make some sense to you. It's interesting because that's why the Queen of Cups is there and she's holding her face kind of almost, it's like a disparity. Even though she's in the upright, she's not happy about this. And I'm not saying she is in, I'm saying she because it's the Queen of Cups, but this goes for male or female. This doesn't matter. Please explain to me more. Please explain to me more. What is the path of wisdom for Virgo? Depletion. Mother of Air. Okay, so this makes so much sense. Okay, so your actual path of wisdom is telling us that this situation is depleting for you. The path of wisdom is telling us that you need to look for the insight. You need to listen. You need to hear what Spirit is telling you. He's telling you that there's an imbalance with what's going on. That's why you have to learn these lessons. You know? This all has to do, I don't know if you This is how you make money. This is how you make money. That's why this isn't right. There's an imbalance to this, because the way that this is manifesting, you might be working with somebody, but this is not the traditional manner. This is not the order that you're looking for. And because of this insight, you're going to find insight. This situation, I think, has probably been fairly draining. So it's clarifying that there's been a depletion of energy. Like you do it, but you don't really have the motivation or the energy for it. That's why you have to have the insight, so you can avoid your crops from being spoiled. There's going to have to be a new manner. This way that it's being done, it's not right. And it's very interesting because you also have the mother of air. And it's interesting because the mother of air in this card, she's very focused. She's not listening to what anybody's saying. She's listening to spirit. She's listening to God. She's being protected on her journey by the angels. That eagle is watching over her. It's interesting because she has like a little bit of a smile, like she knows what she wants. She knows, in fact, I think she knows how to get it. But in order to do it, she's going to have to leave. She's going to have to go somewhere else for a second. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be physically getting up and moving away. It just means that you may have to leave the mental environment that you've put yourself in and start thinking more for yourself. You're going to do that. That's the path of wisdom, following spirit. And what's so interesting about this is that where we've got the tradition in the upright, we've also have inner order, but it's in reverse. So it's telling us that this order, it's the Eight of Earth, which is, your element. But it's interesting because this is telling us that the inner order has to grow within outwards. It is a tradition. It's an order. It's a manner of how you do things. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's very interesting. Just tell me more. It's telling me no. It's telling me no on the love. We're going to go straight into the Dream Oracle because the way this reading was actually supposed to be Virgo's singles reading. But this is supposed to be, I guess this message is supposed to be like this. I can't necessarily, school and ocean, wow. School. Boom. Yeah, school has a tradition. School has an order. And it's that order that is so important, I think. I feel like, Virgo, it's who you are. The order is who you are as a person. Like, there has to be an order for things. I think that that's probably why Virgos have a tendency to be successful, is they understand, okay, you want to come out? The order to things. I don't know about that one. Let's see how this all plays out. Transition. So you will be moving away. These are the Dream Oracle cards. This is the overall advice. You're going to be moving away. It says release attachments to what was and prepare for what's to come. Yeah, you're going to go back to this tradition. You won't be going back, but you'll be moving towards a traditional manner. You'll be setting in place this inner order, and that's what's going to cause the transition. Part of this transition will be you, and you've got cell phone, and it states here, polish your communication skills. So in order for this to be prosperous, the overall advice is that you need to work on your communication. And I think this is very interesting. The last card is food, eating. Be mindful of the thoughts you are ingesting. So I think it's important to stay very focused on what it is, Virgo, that you're trying to achieve. Don't try your hardest not to let the negativity and the self-doubt come through, because as long as you follow the Spirit of God, ask Him to work out your imbalance. Be led by the Spirit. Because apparently whatever it is, that once you get into this mode, it's going to be great, because you will be, you're going to come up out of this. And it's going to be really good for you. You're going to hit the ground, running like nobody's business. You're going to be very prosperous. Whew, this was not what I expected, but it never is. Very interesting, Virgo. I would love to hear if any of this resonates with anybody. Let's go ahead and before we get done, let's pull some angel cards. We got 2 here. Ooh. Very interesting. Cleanse. You need to cleanse. And therapy. That's very interesting. You need to cleanse. And focus on some therapy. Very interesting. I think that's what will help you go back to the way things are supposed to be. You won't feel, it won't be a struggle. You won't be in that stagnancy. There won't be a hindrance. Maybe, I do believe in therapy. I believe that it is important to get therapy and cleanse. I think it's important to do a cleanse. Maybe spiritually, mentally, just an overall, you can actually go on to, you can look at meditation on YouTube, and you can put on, there are many, many, many meditations. In the meditations, a lot of them have like cleanse, detox. And that would be very important for you, Virgo. If you could listen to that, you could start out by listening to it every night. Put it on very, very, very low to where you almost can't hear it. But that will definitely help you, Virgo. All right, Virgo, that was your reading. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Namaste. And follow me on Instagram, you can. It's Butterfly Block 78. Usually that's where I announce readings and things like that. I have personal stuff on there where I've taken pictures. So you can kind of get to know my personality a little bit. Stuff like that. Anyway, guys, you all have a wonderful day. I love you. Bye-bye.